This is Sharifa. Welcome or welcome back to the New Bear Review. Welcome back. Doo-doo. Hi, thank you for dropping in today. This is kind of an unexpected book haul. And I thought I will share with you the books that I recently purchased. It's really shameful because this book haul was so unnecessary. I'm going to be honest with you. I can call a spade a spade. Um, and I found so many excuses as for the reason why I acquired these books. But let's just see what I have and see the damage, okay? So a few days ago, um, I was out with my mom. We just, doing some running around to the different stores, just taking her to where she need to get some items. And of course, we stopped into one of my favorite stores. And if you're new here, I'll just share with you. I love going to the Dollar Tree to get art supplies and all the gems and stuff like that. So I go in and automatically I always check my two sections, the art and craft supplies and of course the books. Now, in some Dollar Trees, the items, you always have different items because they cater more to the the neighborhood and their likelihood to buy certain items. Um, and I know this because I am a connoisseur of Dollar Tree. Unfortunately, I'm always going in different Dollar Trees to see the difference between the one that's in my neighborhood compared to other neighborhoods. But that's neither here or there. I'm going to get into these books I collected from the Dollar Tree. So let's get into it. So the first book I have is Virgin River, My Second Pass. Now this is a book that has been adapted to a actually television series on Netflix. So if you guys are Virgin River fans, you know what I'm talking about. This one right here is Second Chance Pass. It states that it's book five. So if the book is going based on the season, I got to put my specs on, you guys. If the books are going based on the season, I saw season five and six. Was that six we just had? I did see it. So I went ahead and grabbed it. I was hoping that they would have, like other um, books as well, like the different books one, two, and three, but they did not have it at this particular Dollar Tree. But sometimes it's just random that like stores they get rid of the books that that are not selling, and Dollar Tree they end up acquiring them. So, but this was book five. So, um, I think I want to read book one first because I've never read any of the books in the series. But although I love the series, my biggest disappointment is I start reading the actual book and don't like it as much as I like the series because I love the series. So we'll see. But yes, I got Virgin River. Don't let me ramble on, you guys, because I will. Because I will. The next one is one that I actually glad that I got because I'm on this health journey to buy, to finding other alternatives besides besides, eating a lot of meats. And I'm not a heavy meat eater. A lot of about 85 to 90% of my meals are meatless. And on top of that, half of that is vegan. So I'm really leaning into finding out other alternatives besides meat to eat. Now, in the course of a day, um, you know, like say for instance, out of three meals, one may have a protein, which is a meat, but then you get protein out of beans and all that other stuff. But this is not the video for that. Let me get back to this book. Like I said, the sad rambling. This is a book that I'm glad that I did grab. This is one of the first books, 72 Reasons to be Vegan, why plants why plant-based now, why now? And author Jean Stone and Kathy Freston. And so I grabbed this right here. And I actually started flipping through it when I got it. And it just gives you, like, say, for instance, it's a quick read. Like, you have 23. We're running out of water. And then it goes into, the reasons why that is important to understand. And then it's a go fish, no fish. I haven't gotten to that one. That's number 20. But it just gives you interesting facts and make its argument for going vegan. Now, I would say, depending on where you are in the world, like if you're in Alaska, it's impossible to be a vegan. That's just how I feel, because the climate doesn't permit for you to get fresh fruit and vegetables, around the clock. And I'm very sure, the fruits and vegetables that they do have are probably rather expensive at a certain time of the year, because the vegetation is just not there in colder climates. But yeah, so let's get on with this video. The next book I have is Axioms In. Now, this is a part one of a part two series. It is a novel by Lindsay Ellis. And I thought this was a pretty good, this is a crime novel. So I love reading about crime and horror. Those probably like, out of, my nonfiction fetish, crime and horror, is probably up there with me. So I got that. That was a good deal. Now, this one right here kind of took me by surprise that I even grabbed it. I think the one thing that attracted me to this particular book I'm going to show you guys is the cover. So let me see. I still have the sticker on it from the Dollar Tree. But let me see if I can just tear it off a little bit. It's not going, so I'll do it later. But the book is called Shakespeare for Squirrels. The author is Christopher Moore. Gorgeous book, right? Look at this cover, you guys. That's sad that you grabbing books based on the cover. But the story is interesting also. So that was one of my unexpected surprise. This book right here, I actually did hear reviews about this in the past, and I was surprised that it was at the Dollar Tree. And so when I saw it, I just got it. American Spy, author Lauren Wilkinson. Um, yeah, that is a beautiful cover. Now, if I start telling everybody what the book is about, I got to go back and reference all the other books. So I'm not going to do that. But this has a mixture of the Cold War um, themes in it. And so immediately, when I heard about it and then I saw it, I said, you know what, that would be something that I would be interested in. So I'm glad that I saw it, and now I have it in my library. Okay, the next one is Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered. The title alone it caught my attention. And right here it said the number one USA Today New York Times bestseller. Okay. Oh, author of My Favorite Murderer podcast. I listen to that podcast from time to time. Who is the author? Karen Killigraph and Georgia Hardstark. Nice. When I say the books, the selections they had, I was just in awe. Like, I almost forgot why I was in there. So, but I did get the things, the two items that I was going in there for. But yeah, this was very a pleasant surprise. So I couldn't leave them there. You understand. I'm pleading my case to you guys. I have a couple of more. Let me see. I have two more. So this next one is Rodman, a novel by Curtis Settenfield. So when I saw the author's name, he is the author, or she is the author. I want to say it's a male. Yeah. Of oh, I think this is a female. I don't know, but either way it go. When I saw the name, I knew I've read this author's book in the past. And the book that I read was like a retelling of Pride and Prejudice. Oh, what is the name of that? I think it was called Eligible. And so, I mean, that's one of my favorite, love trope. For one, I love Pride and Prejudice. But when I found out that this was the same author who wrote Eligible, I said I had to get it. So the book is called Rodman, and it seemed like this is Hillary Clinton. That is her maiden name. This appeared that this would be something similar of a storyline about her life, but like a parody or something like that. So we'll see. It seemed like it was interesting. I went and got it, and so now it's part of my collection. Last but not least of my Dollar Tree book haul is I love collecting cookbooks, you guys. I'm just gonna put that out there. Anything that has to do with food, nutrition, home and health, mental health. I'm like a moth to the flame. This book right here is called The Essential Vegan Instant Pot. This book um, provides recipes that you can make vegan recipes in one pot. So I went ahead and got that. And I did start looking through here and I saw a few recipes that I will be trying real soon. Like real soon. So as soon as I finish organizing my pantry, a lot of the ingredients that I saw for a couple of these dishes that I want to make, I already have at home. And so yeah, just a couple of add-ons and we'll have a different a different taste at mealtime. So the author is Coco Morante, Morte at the bottom. But look at that, you guys. That's just flowing health, right? I got this at the Dollar Tree. Now, the tricky part about Dollar Tree books is that you're not going to find them on a website. And that's the beauty and the horror, a Dollar Tree is that you may like a book, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that if they have it at the Dollar Tree and if I show you that you'll have it at your Dollar Tree. That's why I'm always suggesting people go to your local Dollar Tree, check out the books they have. Okay. Um, Now these are books that I got from the thrift store, and when I tell you, you guys, that they were so unexpected. I think my whole entire haul was under $20. And let me tell you why. So the books that I acquired from the thrift store, it was from a local Goodwill. I had to get them. I couldn't leave these books there. Okay. So let me give it to you. The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois, Honoree Fanny Jeffers. I read this. Well, listen to the audiobook. I don't know. Some people say read, but it's audiobook, but I listened to the audiobook. And this was at my local, not my local, it was like further away from my home, but this was at a Goodwill, you guys. Clean edges. Now, the hardcovers were $1.99 with a 30% off sale. And so while everybody was over there by the clothes, and I went in there to check out some of the cookware. While everybody was over there, I said, you know what, let me go see what they have in the book section. And I'm glad I did. So the second book I got was One Poem a Day. And it doesn't really have an author, but it's a writer's daily journal of words and inspiration. And I thought that was really cool. Paperbacks were 99 cents. So I got this for 99 cents. no written pages, clean text with 30% off. The next one I got, and I've mentioned this book several times on my channel. And when I saw the spine of the book, I almost lost my mind. Like, I almost lost my mind. The Sum of Us: What Racism Costs Everyone and How We Can Prosper Together by Heather McGee. I found this at the thrift store, you guys. This is one of those situations, if you know, you know. $1.99, 30% off. Clean text, right? Look at the spine. This one actually looks better than my book. I'm gonna be honest with you. my book have dings. Well, this is my book also too, but I have scratches and it's a mess. It's love. Like, I love on that book every chance I get because I'm constantly going through it and highlighting stuff and yeah. Anyway, on to the next book. A Private Life of Chairman Mao. Dr. Lee, let me get this right. Dr. Lee Jehuzi or Hizu, translated by Andrew J. Nathan. Oh, no. Teo Hung Chow, and forward by Andrew J. Nathan, with the editorial assistance of Ann F. Thurston. I always like to read about the Chinese, like from the dynasty to like what's going on now. I think it's very important that when we're learning history, that we not only learn our history and from our culture, but from other cultures too. But this talks about Chairman Zhao, Chairman Mao, and I don't know anything about him, but what I know is that he was probably one of the most cruelest dictators that China has ever had. And so I have a feeling that this is going to make it to my nightstand before the year is over, because I have the opium. I have a couple of books that are related to that continent that I want to that I want to read this year. So this may be one of them. Sounds interesting. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not gonna read it, but I got this for, it was $1.99, 30% off. And I'm guessing because all of these three books, they were together. The hardcovers. I'm assuming, and I may be wrong, that they probably had the same owner. So, but it found a loving home. It found me. It was meant for me to go to that particular Goodwill that's nowhere near my house, and I probably won't even go again because it's nowhere near my house. It was probably meant for me to go in that particular Goodwill on that day at that time. All right. So, this is the last book I acquired from my thrift book haul. That's what we're going to call it, you guys. My thrift book haul is Peaceful Fights for Equal Rights. And this is what they call that? This is a children's book, but I am such a big fan of picture books. I just, it's just something about the art, the simplicity of the language, and I'm always interested how we can get such a challenging conversation. How we have younger children to understand, and then that's understanding elevates, right? So look at this. This is absolutely gorgeous. This is how our America should look like. Look at this, you guys. Absolutely. Look at all these hues, right? Mm. shake a hand, lend a hand, have hope, be hope. And so, with that said, everybody, I think this was a good haul. Tell me what you think. And if you like this video or like content like this, feel free to subscribe, like, and share this with a friend. Until next time, people, bye bye.